Hey guys, it's Dan. Welcome back to Dan's Covers. And today, I'm actually not uploading a cover. Sit down, guys, because it is fucking story time. Today, I'm gonna be doing just the tiniest rant about public schooling. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of schools out there that are great. They have great staff, great fucking lessons, great kids, everything like that. I've never been to a school like that. Well, maybe one. That was an elementary school. But, oh, the lighting just totally got darker. Anyway, not all schools are like this. That's my disclaimer. But, I just wanted to do a little rant. Not that anyone's gonna fucking care. I have 5 subscribers. But, this is my opinion on public schooling. I've said that about 5 times in this video. I wish I could get a new camera / video editor, whatever you need to make YouTube videos to edit half of the awkward mumbling that I do in these videos. Anyway, the first topic that we're gonna be focusing on is the staff. First of all, this is like a big issue I have with staff. Do not know how to explain this. The students do not fucking care about your opinion. Someone's coming to the phone. I had to move to my room because the phone rang and now someone's on the phone downstairs, just my luck. So anyway, what I was trying to say is that if you're a teacher teaching a school, you obviously know how touchy some students are about certain topics. And if they're trying to sit down and give you their opinion, you shouldn't argue against it because you're a teacher and you're there to make the students feel safe and secure and not to argue about what you think is right. And from personal experience, I'm not saying that if the kid's like, yeah, I don't go to school at all, and like, I never do my work, so you should give me a good grade on every class. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Bigotry in school. I have a certain teacher. Let's call him Mr. Jalapeno. Mr. Jalapeno, yes, Mr. Jalapeno. Since he's always talking about his time in Portugal, which no one fucking cares about. Anyway, if you haven't noticed by my YouTube channel already that, I'm trans, and, I guess that Mr. Jalapeno has a problem with this, because I was sitting in the computer lab just the other day, and, he called me by the pronouns that I was, assigned to at birth, which, I sound really cringy when I'm saying this, because even myself cringe at myself for being trans at times, but, like, who cares about that? Anyway, I had 3 students go to correct him, and even after that, he continued to say, I guess, what he thought was right, which isn't right. It's just an example of ignorance, and this kind of thing happens in schools so much around the world, and it's just disgusting in my opinion. And outside of schools, you should be allowed to state your opinion, that's fine, but like while you're at school trying to give your students a safe, helpful, insightful environment, you shouldn't be doing things to make them feel like they are not accepted or welcome in the school area. The second thing I'm going to be talking about is treating different students different than other students in the school. I, again, have an example for this. See me, Dan, goes up to the school. Dan is really ticked off that day, and someone decides to push him over the edge. He gives them a little shove into the locker. Dan gets suspended for 3 days. Dan also gets a fuck ton of homework. Now, let's call him Chili Pepper. Chili Pepper is very ticked off that day. Chili Pepper is also let's just say Chili Pepper is someone in my class that I really, really, really don't like. Let's just say Chili Pepper is basically a fucking asshole. Chili Pepper is rude to everyone for no reason, and like, he gets away with it all the time. The teachers even let him come out of class just because he doesn't want to be there. See him? He causes the school to have a lockdown. And after this happens, he doesn't get suspended. He gets a talk with the principal. And after Dan pushes someone out of slight frustration, Dan gets suspended for 3 days. How is that fair? It's like this with other students too. Let's just say Breadstick. Breadstick, good pal of mine. Not really. I walked past Breadstick a couple weeks ago, and she was very, 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 very irritating. So the actual problem is, I look at her hair and I see a little flyaway. I don't like flyaways, even on myself. So I'm gonna smooth it out. I know it's not any of my business to be touching other people's hair, but she goes, grabs my hand, twists it backwards, and when I ask her to stop, she kicks me in the fucking shin. I was crying, and I don't usually cry at things like that. Physical pain usually doesn't hurt me. Wow, I'm so hardcore. But even after talking to the principal, she didn't get suspended at all. Let us bring you back to the Dan pushing someone and getting suspended for fucking 3 days. Teachers should not be picking favorites and should be treating everyone in the school equally unless they have an actual reason to be treating them differently. Like, if they have a serious mental illness that is keeping them from doing something, or a physical illness that is keeping them from doing something, they should not have any exceptions. Now, the next thing I'm about to talk about, some of you won't agree with, but this is just my personal opinion and you don't have to take it if you don't want to. Anyways, the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is forcing your students to do something that they're not comfortable with. No, I'm not talking about saying, like, they're not comfortable with doing a certain subject in school, that they shouldn't be able to do it. Well, shouldn't be allowed to do it? I don't know what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that if someone says they're uncomfortable with the subject, they get a freebie. What I'm saying is, if they have, like, say, a problem working in a group, they should be allowed to work individually, because not only does it give them what they desire, it gives them an opportunity to do more work by themselves, which I think should further prove that they are good at the subject that they're doing, the project that they're doing. They can do it by themselves, which proves them even better than the other students. No, not really better, but like, you know what I'm saying, right? I get permission to do this at my school. I'm thankful for that. But other people, like my friends, don't get permission to do that. And this is another thing I'm saying. I have a mental illness. I have a learning disability. That's why they let me work by myself with help of an EA, which is a student assistant. But my friend would also like to do this because she doesn't like people. I mean, who does, really? But as I stated earlier, you should not be treating your students any differently than the rest of their peers. And I know that the teachers always say, oh, it's to build social skills. Like, honestly, you don't need social skills to be successful. You just need to bear with people. Like you do at school, you have to bear with them. You don't have to be best friends with them, and you don't need to always work cooperatively with them. If you have the chance to do something individually, then you should be able to do it. If you absolutely have to work with someone in the working world, then you're gonna have to deal with it. But in school, I don't see why you need to do this. You don't need to build social skills. It should be something that's a no-brainer. If you need to get along with someone at the situation, in this moment, then you're gonna do it. If you have a preference and you're at something as simple as school, you should be able to do what you desire. It's supposed to be somewhere that you can feel comfortable at. And personally, I think it's really sad that kids wake up and they think, fuck, I have to go to school today. And some people are like, they actually they get physically sick from it. They get depressed. It makes them upset. It makes them stressed out. School should be somewhere where you think, yes, I'm gonna get to go see my friends today. I'm gonna get to learn new stuff. It's gonna be fun. But the fact that most teachers do not know more than one method to teach a certain subject to a kid who might have a learning disability, the fact that they're not letting them work individually, the fact that they are making them work with people that may be hurting them or abusing them, and the fact that they are not giving the right punishment to the children who deserve it. I feel like schools are about as rigged as a fucking claw machine. The fact that some teachers will not even give the proper help to students is proof that saying it's bullshit when they're getting all mad because they have a low score, they have a low grade. And half the time it's not the student's fault. It's because maybe there could be stuff going on in their family life. It's not like they can control it. It's not like the fact that they don't have the mental capacity to understand what's going on that fucking whiteboard. It's not their fault that they don't understand what you're saying because you are not explaining it simple enough. Now, as I said, this is just my silly opinion, and you don't have to take it seriously if you don't want to, even though you should because it's kind of important. And maybe I'll make more videos like this in the future.